But anyway, let's move on here, too, because also there's going to be the question of who is he going to pick for his VP. And there was an interesting thing that happened this week here where Nikki Haley piped up and suddenly said she's going to vote for Donald Trump, which seems very odd coming from someone who said this about him just 3 months ago.
We can't have someone who sits there and mocks our men and women who are trying to protect America. It's a pattern. It's a pattern of chaos. It's a pattern of irresponsibility.
Adam, is this a case of relevance deprivation syndrome in action, or is she trying to make a plea for, consider me for the vice presidency? And if she's not the VP, who is Donald Trump thinking about as his running mate?
Well, look, I think she probably thought a lot about saying that at the end on Wednesday, that she's going to vote for Donald Trump. I think she's just been reading the polls like you and I have. She's been looking at the betting markets and she's seen the writing on the wall. And you'd have to say at the moment, Trump's going to win. Now, if Trump is going to win, she doesn't want to be a mortal enemy of Donald Trump. And that's not necessarily meaning that she'd be the VP or even in his cabinet again. But she wants to be on good terms with him. That makes perfect rational sense. So I think her statement this week is yet another sign alongside the South Bronx rally of just how confident the Trump team is kind of right now. Look, I don't think she's got any chance of being his VP running mate. I think there's too much bad blood there between the two of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you played some of the quotes. She said he's an agent of chaos, etc. Look, we just don't know who he's going to pick, and he's not going to pick anyone until much closer to July when the convention is. I mean, he's basically said that. So he's quite enjoying now having all of these candidates, following them around the country, going to court, offering support. Because obviously many of them do want to be in that position. And it's a much more important vice presidential position than normal because, Trump can't get a third term. So whoever is that VP is going to be in a very good chance to be the candidate for the following election.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of the election, though, this was really interesting. Out of Ohio, there's been this fascinating, complex, legal, arcane, slightly thing happening here where on Election Day, Joe Biden might not be able to appear on the Ohio ballot after the state legislature warned the party that he's going to miss the state's deadline for filing as a candidate. What is happening here, and is there actually a chance that this state, Ohio, could actually not see Joe Biden on the ballot? It's a huge state electorally.
Yeah, well, look, each state kind of runs their own electoral rules, and many of the rules are very obscure, and there's so many states, and they're so complex that I think sometimes even the federal campaigns forget what the rules are. And I think it's just recently emerged, as you point out, that for the state of Ohio, you have to be the declared candidate 90 days before the election. And because the Democrat convention is not until August, Biden will not satisfy that 90 days. So it may well be that he can't appear on the ballot. But I think some politicians in Ohio, some of the legislature, they've said that they're going to try to change the law. So look, I mean, they probably will change the law, I imagine. I think it'd be very unfair if he can't appear on the ballot. But I mean, even if he didn't appear on the ballot, it's very unlikely that Biden would have won Ohio anyway. I think it's been Republican now for many, many cycles.